First of all, and again, this is why I hate covering female rap because like a lot of times information that comes in, it's either by a Nicki stan or a Nicki hater, and I can't discern which is important and which is not. Right? Like for example, people had told me Nicki is going to make a lot of noise because her husband, Big Zoo, is found guilty of not registering as a sex offender. He was convicted of raping a girl at like knife point years ago, like hella long ago. But he has to register no matter where he goes as a sex offender, right? He did not register. And because of that, he didn't register in the state of California. And him and Nicki live out there. Because of that, the feds slapped him with a charge. And apparently, they're going to work some plea out, but he's going to have to plead guilty, okay? I think he's going to stay out of jail, but it's going to be probation. Regardless, it rears the ugly head of reminding people that Nicki Minaj's husband is a convicted sex offender. Now, here's the thing. Truth be told, Nicki Minaj is innocent in this. Like, Nicki Minaj has no charges of being a sex offender. Who she chooses to love should not be used to, impugn her integrity. People, like, listen, we all fall in love or we sometimes like people with questionable past and this and third. And by the way, Nicki actually, and this is on her, she is sticking up for her dude, saying that, like, she's not saying he really didn't rape her or something like that, and that she hinted towards like maybe they wanted money. I don't know what it was. Anyway, regardless, the woman has then claimed that Nicki Minaj and her husband has offered her multiple times money to recant the statement that Nicki's husband raped her. Okay? Now, this might be some cleaning up image shit. I don't really know. I'm trying to just give all the information I know, but I definitely do know that Nicki's husband is guilty of not registering, right? But people are saying that Nicki's looking bad in this, so Nicki has been she tried to get the girl who was raped to change her story, and because of that it kind of blew up because the girl is not changing her story. So now Nicki needs to change the topic that people aren't talking about her husband that's a convicted sex offender. So we saw a few things come out. Nicki randomly, like, what did she do? I think she randomly went live and started talking about some random shit. And people thought she was trying to change the topic. However, who gives a fuck? I don't care that much. She landed on the topic recently of vaccination. And she told people, because apparently I didn't know people were tracking when's the last time she's been seen in public. But apparently she hasn't been in public for like a year now. She had a baby recently, but still she hasn't been out in a year. Well, people have been tracking her, and what ended up happening is that she said that she wasn't going to the Met Gala, and she said one of the reasons is because she's not vaccinated, and she gave her opinion on vaccinations. Now, I'm going to try to bring out to the beginning of this. Where is the beginning? Do I have her initial tweets? It might have been here. Okay. She basically was answering her fan. She says, "Love you, babe." She was answering a fan. She says, I was prepping for the VMAs and I shot a video, and guess who got COVID? Do you know what it is not to be... Do you know what it is not to be able to kiss or hold your tiny baby for over a week? A baby who is only used to his mama? Get vaccinated? Drake had just told me he got COVID with the vaccine, though so child. And I guess that's like ratchet chick type. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, she continued by saying, they want you to get vaccinated for the Met Gala If I get vaccinated, it won't be for the Met Gala. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe. Wear your mask with 2 strings that grips your head and your face, not the loose one. Then she continues by saying, my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friends was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied. Okay? Now, Nicki Minaj boasts a following, and I'll pull it up here. She boasts a following of, like, I believe 26 million or something like that. Some ridiculous number because she is very popular. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I can't even type. Twitter. Let me go to my page and just NIC. About K. Okay, good. Anyway, I want to make a long story short. She started tweeting out questions and other things about the vaccine, and she basically said today she was suspended. So she also started getting into some other stuff. Do you know how many U.S. presidents were white supremacists? Oh, please stay on top of it, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what ended up happening is that the news picked up her tweets. People started saying Nicki Minaj is responsible for advising 20-something million people to essentially maybe not take the vaccine. Nicki clapped back by saying, I ain't tell nobody to take the vaccine. I told them to do research and be skeptical. And pretty much it's been going on since then. I'm gonna play a couple of her she did a couple Instagram lives. Nicki. Let's see if I could get those to play today. Okay. All right. So this was the first one.
Twitter. Gather. So you guys, if you haven't already heard, I have been suspended from Twitter. Twitter. A place where people say the most horrific things every day. Stopped me from tweeting my poll, okay? Now, this went from being something rather innocent to me now thinking, wait a minute, there's no way. This is starting to feel, I'm putting on my foot rubbing thing, y'all. Can y'all hear my little foot rubbing thing in the back? Yeah. Papa Bear is asleep. So, y'all, oh, thank you, babe. I didn't realize I could do my poll on Instagram stories. I'll do that. But now listen to this. You guys, has something ever happened in your life and you didn't really pay it much mind, right? But then you slept on it. And then you realized there was something even more layered there. You had to unwrap it and unravel it, right? And sometimes something that was meaningless to you or not that meaningful becomes a gem when you go back and unravel it, right? Um, a lot of times lately I've had speaking freely because my documentary is coming and I'd rather you guys be able to experience everything the way I'd like you to experience it on the documentary. I'll never go back on Twitter because now it's starting to feel a little scary. I remember when I was a little girl, and I would be taken to church, and sometimes the people in church would tell us, "Be happy that you're able to praise God freely," because some people in so many countries in the world can't praise the God they'd like to praise freely. They have to hide the Bibles, if they are a Christian in some countries, right? And that always motivated me to want to be in church and enjoy church, because I was like, wow, some people don't get this luxury. Um and and what's happening is that we used to talk about 50 years ago and 30 years ago and 20 years ago. We have become that place that we don't that you can't speak. You can't speak for the fear of the mob attacking you.
By the way, she's making a very valid point. I do also want to point this out. Nicki Minaj's audience, the Barbs, has been the mob that attacked anyone who spoke freely about her. So it's very interesting that she is complaining about a mob attacking her when she's speaking, when essentially her audience does that to anyone who speaks of her. And I'll say this too. Granted that what I just said is true, I don't think Nicki's saying nothing too crazy. Usually when Nicki gets into these little things right here, I see a human that's down to risk the opportunities and benefits allowed with the celebrity shit to express a real opinion. And I give credit to her for that. Because truth be told, she ain't the only one thinking that. Mad people thinking it. There's probably mad people just getting the vaccine just so they could make a living. Because if they're saying you needed to go to the Met, that's a big opportunity for people in promotion, right? In notoriety. You're going to need it for tour. You can't really make tour income without getting it. So when she's speaking out, I do believe that she's expressing what is her personal self. And a lot of times when it comes to issues like this, celebrities realize the path of least resistance is to not address it. Like for example, like even what Boosie's doing, right? Like again, I don't agree with everything what Boosie's saying, but like there's mad rappers who think there's a quote unquote gay agenda, but nobody will talk about it because like they're thinking that if I address it a certain way, is that going to be seen as something to cancel me? All right, never mind. You know what? Let's not even fucking try to figure out how to give a real opinion. Let's just ignore it.
If that doesn't give you chills up and down your fucking spine, this is scary.
Somebody says they didn't suspend her. I think when she means suspend, they probably locked her account. So Twitter at times will lock your account where people could still see your tweets. And we just showed right here, we could see Nicki Minaj's page. So you're thinking suspension where it's going to say this user suspended. No, she can't tweet. So it's going to say, hey, your account is locked for 12 hours or a day. You have to wait that time to be able to use it.
Hey, You should be able to ask questions.
Wait, Twitter said they didn't suspend her? I'm not believing Twitter. I'm not believing in social. As much as I'm not saying Nicki's a liar, not like that, but as much as Nicki sometimes be on some shit, I'm believing Nicki over Twitter. Twitter and Instagram, mad pussyfied. They're only reacting because Nicki's so big. If they ever said something like that, let me try to Google it. Twitter, Nicki. Wait. The rapper, blah, blah. A Twitter spokesperson told BuzzFeed, right? Twitter didn't take any enforcement action in the account. Bro, I'm not believing that. Cap. I'm not believing that. Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. The way how Instagram and Twitter moves, bro, they definitely took action, bro. Like, yo, nigga, this shit see Illuminati almost. Like, put like this. Look at my post, right? Look at my post. They do really weird stuff when you mention COVID, so I try not to mention COVID, right? So, like, I posted a Nicki thing, right? Was it this or was it the other one? Look at my caption. Nicki gets her Twitter suspended for asking questions about a vaccine. They put this fucking little thing there. Visit the COVID-19 Information Center for Bro, it's like they know when you got posts talking about the vaccine that they're on some other shit. I'm not believing them, bro. Again, I'm not entirely believing Nicki, right? In terms of like, because Nicki will paint this like they just hate black women and hate her. No, the agenda right now is all y'all celebrities, if y'all anti-vax, shut the fuck up. Because we're trying to get people to take it right now. So if you're anti-vax, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear you right now. And Twitter's on board. Instagram's on board. And that's what the government wants to do. And if you're a celebrity saying it, they're going to either censor you, they're going to do some shit. I'm sorry. Like, bro, like, you see what they're doing to your post. So, I believe that. I don't know how far they're taking it with Nicki. So when she said she's in Twitter jail, I believe they probably be like, yo, hey, you can't tweet for the next 6 hours. Now let's go back.
About anything you're putting inside your body. We ask a bunch of questions about the most simple thing. Oh, bitch, how that glue work? Do that glue really keep the wig down for how many hours? Oh, cause if I go in the pool and if I smell it once, and bitch, how that? But you can't just.
Anyway, she later then said she was invited to the White House. Then some spokesperson from the White House says we never invited her. We offered a call. I believe Nicki mostly for this, and I think Nicki is realizing that celebrity isn't that free. Your influence isn't to influence the audience as you see fit. You can influence them as you see fit with what song to like, what jingle to rock with, what TikTok dance to do, but you're not going to interfere. And pretty much social media is going to that point. You're not going to interfere with the government or these other entities trying to influence the minds of people. We don't want you involved with that. So I definitely believe that. And I think Nicki got humbled a little bit. You're a fucking rapper. Nobody gives a fuck about what you say on the vaccine. That's what the government's saying to her. Now, did she say valid things? Yes. Do I think she was capping? She was capping a little bit because some of her tweets was kind of like hinting that people shouldn't take it. And then she did turn around and say that she would take it. But then later on, when she was explaining, she was saying, "Oh, she was acting." She didn't admit that she was giving suggestions of what people should do. She was like, "Yo, I was just telling people to ask questions." That's not what it was. But anyway, screw it. Nicki Minaj, I'm glad you're exercising your voice, even though I think this is more about the establishment going against you than actually you caring about people, because I just believe Nicki's for herself. Before I get off,